wedding photographer, now turned wedding blogger. I recently launched a wedding blog called The Jersey Bride. And with that, now I get to sit on the editor's chair. So a lot of my photographer friends always ask about submitting to wedding blogs. So today for my vlog challenge, I wanted to discuss what it's like being an editor and maybe answering some questions that you as a photographer or even wedding planner or someone from the wedding industry have wondered about submitting to blogs. A lot of photographers feel overwhelmed and they tell me, I don't even know where to start. How do you submit to blogs? Well, I must say that I've been involved with Too Bright Lights and I think it's really the best way to submit. The reason I love Too Bright Lights is because it really allows you to, in one place, be able to submit to multiple blogs without having to submit to each individual blog and without having to look at each individual blog's requirements. What Too Bright Lights does for you is you have a shoot and you're like, oh, I think it's going to be awesome to submit somewhere. You create the shoot, you create an album, then you add any vendors, designers, makeup artists, anyone that was involved. Then with that album, you can submit to different blogs. If you're not on Too Bright Lights and it's only $15 a month for you to be able to submit to the editors and to the wedding blogs, then what you have to do is you have to visit the blog and look for the submission section for real weddings or engagements. And in that section, you will find all the needed instructions of what your file size should be, how should you send it. Sometimes they do Dropbox, sometimes they do zipped file email, sometimes they want to see a gallery, sometimes they want to see 20 images, sometimes they want to see 50 images. So you have to look at that and all the information the requirements for you to actually submit your session or your wedding. But most importantly, please check on the aesthetics of the blog. For example, the Brooklyn Bride is a modern wedding inspiration blog. So if you had a vintage shoot and it was really cute, even if it was in the city, most likely they're not going to feature it because it really doesn't go on what their view is for their own blog. So really important to look that up first. Next question, what's the difference between an exclusive blog and a non-exclusive blog? An exclusive blog will like you to only submit to them. So if they feature your wedding or your shoot, it shouldn't be featured anywhere else except for your own blog. It's okay if you have it on your own blog, but it shouldn't be in a newspaper, it shouldn't be in print, and shouldn't be somewhere else. And a lot of the editors are friends, and believe me, they will find out if you do that, so don't do that. A non-exclusive blog like mine, The Jersey Bride, does not care if it's been featured somewhere else. There might be other requirements, like it can't be over a year old and things like that. So in Too Bright Lights, you can pick, if you pick also non-exclusive, don't do like 10 wedding blogs because it kind of makes you look bad. Do like a handful. So that's just, it just makes you look better and makes you look more interested in the actual wedding blog, right? Finding out also a little bit more information about the wedding blog, maybe the editor's name, not call him Mr. Feuza, she, not misspelling the person's name, F-E-U, not F-U-E, and just really finding out a little bit more about it, because the worst thing that can happen is you as an editor, and now I'm an editor, is getting a submission from someone that really never read about your blog and just wants to be featured. I ask sometimes is, do blogs accept style shoots? Yes, most blogs do accept style shoots, again, depending on what they're looking for, what time of season, year it is. Right now it's spring, so a lot of the wedding blogs are looking for spring related and summer related weddings or whatever the color trends are. Next question is about readership. Like, how do you know really if a wedding blog is like top of its game or not? You can look up nowadays websites and find out their statistics, but if the blog is fairly new like mine, you might not find statistics on sites like compete.com. Also, statistics, when they're free, they're not 100%, but it's really up to what your tastes are, which blogs you respect, and that you would love to associate your brand with that blog. I was also asked by Alicia Marie from the Vlog Challenge is, what do I think are the top wedding blogs now? It depends if you follow wedding blogs internationally. International blogs, two that I love, is the first one is the Pretty blog from South Africa. Another one that I like is the Rock and Roll Bride from the UK, and Kat, which is pretty awesome. And then in the US, I would say the top wedding blogs are Style Me Pretty, Wedding Chicks. I love Green Wedding Shoes as well. Brooklyn Bride, which is a more local one. Some other ones I followed are Le Magnifique from It's actually in the West Coast. Lovely blog. It's a fairly new blog, but I love that blog too. The Ruffle blog and 100 Layer Cake. So it really depends what style of photography or weddings that you like. And I'm sure there's many other top ones out there that I don't even know about. And last but not least is really pick your best images. Now that I am on the editor's chair, and sometimes we'll get some things that people really should not be sending. So if it's blurry or shaky, be really careful with that. Or if there's like a lens spot, believe me, I'm a photographer, and I commit it and I commit all those mistakes. Just, I don't recommend you submitting that to a wedding blog, or really pick your best, because some editors are really busy and that's taking a lot of their time, and it's also disrespectful, I think, if you just send whatever you feel like. So really be selective and get feedback. Some blogs will tell you why they didn't feature, but that they would like you to feature again, and it just really it's constructive criticism. It just makes you a better photographer, or makes you just be better at selecting the photos you want to use. If you have any other questions about submitting to wedding blogs, please tweet them to me. It's Feuza, F as in Frank, E-U-Z-A.